Dear students, today in this video we'll be talking about is the process of transcription. In the earlier video we talked about transcription and its transcription unit. Now first will be the process of transcription in prokaryotes. So in the previous video we talked about what is a transcription unit, where we said in a transcription unit it has three parts: the promoter region, the structural genes and the terminator. Now in case of prokaryotes, if you recall, we said that the structural genes are polycistronic and continuous. Polycistronic meaning that it has information for the single RNA chain that is formed, has information for coding of more than one polypeptide chain. And all the bases sequences that are present on the single RNA chain are translated into proteins. So that is the meaning of continuous. Now in prokaryotes, there is a single DNA dependent RNA polymerase, and that single RNA polymerase is responsible for transcription of all the three types of RNAs, that is mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. M messenger RNA, T transfer RNA and R ribosomal RNA. The single RNA polymerase, which you can write as RNAP, P stands for polymerase, is basically consisting of 5 subunits: 2 alpha, beta, beta prime and omega, forming the core enzyme, which we see here in the right hand side in this figure. This is a core enzyme of RNA polymerase. Now this core enzyme will associate with two factors for temporarily for some time. And first will be the sigma factor. So here is the sigma factor, which will be associating with the core enzyme forming an RNA polymerase holoenzyme. And this sigma factor is responsible for recognizing the promoter region in the transcription unit. There is another factor which is called as the termination factor, that is the Rho factor in prokaryotes, that is responsible for termination of transcription. Now what are the main steps of transcription? So this is something similar to what you have done in DNA replication. So here also the first step is activation of ribonucleotides. Same thing as you had in DNA replication, where it was activation of deoxyribonucleotides. So here in the same way, the 4 types of ribonucleotides, which are AMP, GMP, CMP and UMP, they are activated to their triphosphate states. And obviously this activation from AMP to their triphosphate states we need is the help of ATP, and it occurs in the presence of the enzyme phosphorylase. And here what we have shown is the 4 ribonucleotides. So they are going to get attached with 2 more phosphate bonds with the help of the enzyme phosphorylase, and obviously energy will be in the form of ATP and they'll be converted to their triphosphate state. Second step is initiation. Now what happens in initiation? The RNA polymerase will bind with the sigma factor and form the holoenzyme, and this enzyme is going to recognize is the promoter region on the DNA helix. So the promoter is recognized by the sigma factor, and this promoter, as we have done in the early video, we have seen that it is rich in AT bases, and it is called as the Tata box or the Pribnov box in case of prokaryotes. When the RNA polymerase binds to the promoter region, it will cause unwinding of the DNA helix. So the DNA helix will unwind by breaking of the hydrogen bonds between, and obviously only one strand of the DNA, which is in 3' to 5' direction, will act as a template. So transcription will start by joining of 2 free ribonucleoside triphosphates, and after an addition of 10 nucleotides, the sigma factor separates from the core enzyme and elongation proceeds. Second step is elongation. In case of elongation, we'll find that RNA-P, that is RNA polymerase, will move along the DNA template and continue the elongation of the growing RNA chain. So as it moves, RNA polymerase will unwind the DNA template ahead and rewind behind, adding NTPs in which direction? 5' to 3' direction, and obviously it will be complementary to the DNA template. So here also, as you have seen in DNA replication, the various ribonucleoside triphosphate on linking to the DNA template break off their high energy bonds and set free the 2-phosphate as a unit, which is referred to as the pyrophosphate. And this pyrophosphate on hydrolysis releases energy for the formation of the RNA chain. So here in this figure, we are seeing is the double DNA helix. This is the opening of the DNA helix in a form of a bubble. This is called as a transcription bubble. This is the RNA core enzyme of RNA polymerase unwinding the DNA helix ahead, and it rewinds behind. And this is the formation of a RNA chain complementary to the template strand. And here is the terminator region. Next step, last step, termination. And obviously, when RNA polymerase reaches a terminator region, so there the transcription stops and the RNA polymerase separates from the DNA template. Now there are two mechanisms of termination. One is the intrinsic termination or row independent termination, and the other is row dependent termination. In row independent termination, the termination signal is repeats of GC sequence, and this is followed by 4 or more adenine residues that forms a hairpin loop structure, because GC will pair and they form a hairpin loop structure because they'll be pairing between GC. So you will have GC repeats on the RNA chain, and that is going to form CG again on the DNA chain, and that's going to form CG on the RNA chain, followed by adenine poly A sequences, and that will be on the RNA chain, it will be poly U sequences here. So it forms a hairpin loop structure, and that is going to cause the separation of RNA polymerase from the DNA template, and as a result it stops transcription. Another mechanism is row dependent termination. Now in case of this occurs in prokaryotes. In prokaryotes is a termination factor, a protein factor which is called as a row factor, and that factor will attach to the growing RNA chain and move towards the RNA polymerase. And when it reaches to the RNA polymerase near the terminator region, it is going to cause the RNA polymerase to separate from the DNA, thus stopping transcription. Row factor also has ATPase activity, and as a result will help in the release of the completed RNA chain. Since in bacteria messenger RNA does not require any processing, which we are going to see, it happens in eukaryote, and also since transcription and translation takes place in the same compartment, that is in the cytoplasm, many a times translation can begin much before the mRNA is fully transcribed. So here this is a figure where we are showing the termination. So this in green is the termination region, which can be a palindromic sequences, repeats of GC, and followed by adenine residues which act as a terminating signal. And in case of prokaryotes, the row factor will attach here to the growing RNA chain, and this is going to cause separation of RNA polymerase. This is the row factor here, separation of RNA polymerase from the DNA helix, and also separation of the RNA chain from the DNA helix, and as a result stop termination. And this RNA chain will go to the ribosomes for protein synthesis. So that was all about transcription process in prokaryotes. Next video will be related to the transcription process in the eukaryotes. Thank you.